Hello everybody, welcome to On the Bright Side. My name is Daniel, and I'm watching Hell's Paradise. Last time on Hell's Paradise, we learned more about some of the side characters, particularly Nurugai, who came from like an indigenous tribe, and that was cool. I am invested in their story, especially because they're just paired up with a himbo, and I'm like, okay. But they found out that they couldn't get off the island, which is what Genji tried to get Sagiri to do the entire episode because he's sexist. And Sagiri is like, I'm deciding I don't care. and then Genji got his entire rib cage slapped out of his body. So let's just we shouldn't waste any more time. We should see what's happening. If you're excited for this episode of Hell's Paradise, then do me a favor and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss the rest of the season. That opening's a real mood maker. Ooh, persimmons. Oh, well, we're learning about Big Man. Alright, so he's just actually a psychopath? And, yep. There you go. Oh, there he goes. All the way into the tree. What immediate medical attention? Really? Yeah, you gotta run. Oh, thank you. Thank God. Saving her again. You know, who knows at this point? Who is nowhere to be seen. Honestly, yeah, this one you might have to kill. Trying. About that strong enough to uproot trees? Can you do that, Gabimaru? Help, please. Thanks. Oh. This is the most... This is the biggest threat to him so far. It's doing nothing to him. Went through that tree. You want to try burning him? Getting close to him though seems like it would be ill-advised. Oh, look at all these techniques that I hope we see in the future. For real. Right? Good for you, man. That's a much better way of thinking. Yeah. That's pretty much resigning himself to death. Can she do it? We know she's got skills. Yeah, that's what I... Oh, 2 against 1, you say? Alright, here we go. Let's see this teamwork. Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah. You can do it. Damn, the faith. He's always had faith in her. Ooh. Nice one. Yes? Damn, he's so that tough, huh? It got hurt in that last. I'm stressed. We'll figure it out. Yeah, he's just... Oh god. He's just hungry. He's a big baby. A gigantic baby. Gabimaru, you aight? You aight, bro? Are you sure about that? Hello? Yeah, do we got a plan here? Yeah, remember. Calm the sea. Ooh. Impressive. Right? Yeah, from how people talk about her, she's got like one of the best swordsmanship skills. Bro. He fell over. Can we do it? Well, all ears. Alright. Show us what you got. Oh. Oh, she knows some shit is about to happen. We're gonna create a forest fire with all this. Is that the plan? Damn. Why'd you call him like that? Yeah. Yeah. He'll be choked out by the smoke. And also be unable to see. Yeah. Alright. And because he's so big, it all rises towards him. Yep. And then if he starts passing out, cut his head off. Alright. Come on, Sagiri. Ooh. Nice one. All your strength. That's death, my friend. That's your life flashing before your eyes, my friend. Yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate. Just holding his head, it's so badass. He just kind of had an unfortunate being that made him a danger to all. Rest in peace, I guess, but I don't feel that bad for either of them. She does feel bad, though. I respect that they were her comrades. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Giving up is not an option. I have a wife to get back to. Exactly. She's much more focused now. Now we can work together more effectively. I mean, you took down this unkillable guy, so you guys already made it here. What'd you find? Everyone's surprised. Ooh.
村ですか。
Civilization?
以外には見えないね。
But are there people here?
この村に1000人が住んでいるのでしょうか。
It's only one way to find out. Meanwhile, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, we're just gonna eat that? Yeah, what is it about? The hermits. I don't know.
大抵は老人の姿で怪しげな術を操り、不老不死だとか。
Okay. Well. Yeah, of course. That's how he's gonna. Are they gonna stumble upon the village too? Oh, peaches. And, alright, okay, relax. An actual... Should I be watching this? So finally, some people were in the intro. I've been wondering about them. Hi. Don't, no, by all means continue. Don't let me interrupt. That was Hell's Paradise. That was quite a good episode, as usual. I believe this finally concludes like what I'm going to call kind of the prologue of the story, despite the fact that we're halfway through the season. It really concludes like the beginning, and I feel like we're starting to get into more of the real story. If anyone's read the manga, feel free to confirm or deny, but that's what I get the feeling. Especially because we're finally starting to see characters that I was like, why are these characters in the intro? Like the two girls, but the Peach Sakura girl, we'll have to find out. But I get the feeling that, well, yes, the island has been hostile so far. It is only going to get worse as we stumble upon beings with actual intelligence. I'm very excited. So yeah, this episode we mainly dealt with taking down the giant Abizen, who, not much of a character. They gave him a little bit of character, which is basically that, like, he was just born that way. He was just built different, and it's at odds with the way that, like, humans usually work. You know, cannibal. We love it. But, like, naturally a cannibal, it's just like he spent his entire life questioning why he was this way and why everyone else was different. And, you know, it's vaguely sad how he dies. I would feel worse, though, if he was not a cannibal. So I feel like 1% bad out of 100. Genji's dead. We kind of guessed that was going to happen from last episode. And I also don't feel super bad about that. But he did give Sagiri the pep talk that needed. This episode was really focused on her gaining the confidence, the headspace, the peace of mind to be able to actually fulfill her mission and fight. And she's pretty great. Quite a badass. Like what Gabimaru has in like sheer strength, she can like accommodate that kind of stuff in just knowledge of how to execute people. It's quite useful. And they make the most dangerous team on the island as far as I'm aware. I mean, well, I might need to see more of the other teams, but there are still some characters that we haven't really checked in with, like the white-haired guy that killed the cannibal courtesan lady, which appears a lot in the intro, and I'm interested in him. You know, I'm sure we'll get around to checking in on every character periodically. However, we've reached a village, might have hermits in it. I don't know what that means. I'm not in tune with, like, the Japanese folklore and whatever. I really appreciate that, the integration of that into the series, but I'm only, like, vaguely, like, aware of the aesthetics of these kinds of things, and not so much the reason or the story behind them, I guess. I should play Okami. That's what this show makes me want to do. It makes me want to play Okami, which I've never played before. I kind of wanted to talk about something that usually grinds my gears in shonen, which is characters talking during battles. Because a couple of times this episode I was like, that thought popped into my mind. I'm like, why are we talking right now? Or like I noticed that we were monologuing, like internal monologuing quite a bit during battles. And usually that kind of stuff like really annoys me if it's done badly. There's a way to do it in which it's not super disruptive. To compare this show to a show that I compare it to quite a bit because they both have sword action. Demon Slayer, I believe, does like the internal monologuing during battles the worst. Like that's the worst possible way that you can do it, which is to like, well, it's not always the worst, but it exemplifies the worst way, which is basically, I noticed pretty early on that there's a lot of like, a demon is attacking Tanjiro, and he sees that, and he's all like, they're coming in fast! I have to dodge, so that I can do this! And then he dodges, and then he's like, alright, now I just need to hit them really hard. It's like, it's that kind of thing that's like, all the reactions are, for some reason, written out. When you're like, you have a manga or an anime, you don't need to... There are visual ways to indicate how someone is reacting to things. You don't need to have always dialogue. I don't know, that's my thoughts. I think like if you can convey the emotion that the people in the battle are feeling without dialogue, it's really it's I know it's difficult, but it's definitely makes for better action scenes. And I noticed that this show does that a couple of times. There are other reasons that I have issues with how Demon Slayer does things, but I don't mind it as much in this show because overall I like this show a lot more. It is a tad bit annoying, especially like the part that annoyed me was like when they were just talking to each other while fighting him, and it's like, do you really have time to be standing around and talking about strategy? But there is, I appreciate when internal monologues during scenes or during fight scenes are about characters going through change, because that's one of the reasons that you have fight scenes, is they're either just there to look really cool or there to put a character under a stressful situation that will cause them to change and grow. And that's kind of what part of the battle was for Sagiri. All like the internal monologue about the waves and stuff in her head and calming that, I appreciate that and I approve of that way of doing it. You know, if there's reactions that are all like, she hits his skin and she's all like, oh, it's too hard to cut in her head. It's like, yes, I saw. I don't know if that actually, I can't remember immediately if that kind of thing actually happened, but that's the kind of thing that I would recommend that people try to avoid in their shonen, their battle shonen, because like, just show it. Like if you really need to say it out, have them say it to another character. I just think you're able to be like, show that the sword bounces off their skin without having a character have to point that fact out, because we have seen it. It is different in manga and anime because anime has the advantage of motion, so I guess it comes down to whether like your manga's editor or even like you is all like, this panel is kind of hard to read, like you can't read the motion very well, so you have to put something in there to show that. I don't know. I speak from the perspective of a viewer, and from my viewer perspective, having every beat of the battle be interrupted by someone having to say something or think something or have a backstory is kind of annoying. That being said, the show could be doing a lot worse with that. I'm just talking about shonen in general. Don't think I'm specifically criticizing this show, because this show has been pretty excellent so far. I really am looking forward to in the future seeing how Sagiri and Gabimaru, now that they have like, they're both aligned and they got the trust, and Sagiri's now calm, they're about to be a force of nature. Although there were a couple times this episode that I was genuinely worried for whether the characters would be seriously injured or not, and that makes me wonder how much plot armor either of them actually have. If I were to say, it's more likely that Sagiri dies in this show. But Gabimaru, it would be pretty tragic if he died as well, and Sagiri had to continue without it. It's probably way too early to be thinking about that, but I am wondering the amount of plot armor that these two have. But for now, I'm excited to see what sort of mysteries unravel next episode. And if you liked my reaction to this episode, then you can let me know by leaving a like, and you can comment telling me what you liked about my reaction or the episode. And you can subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss the next episode. I hope that I can make your day better, and I hope that you continue to have good days. Until next time, everyone, take it easy.